Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United set to be without Fred and Edison Cavani for the trip to Leicester. Simon Stones from the BBC suggests that Man United expect both players to play in all three international games during the break. Now Fred, he's not good enough to represent Man United, and I'm hoping we can sell him next year. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Edison Cavani, he's made an impact since he's come in. Surprisingly, Cavani started against Everton last weekend. He had a very good chance from a downward header that produced a good save from Jordan Pickford. Cavani was injured earlier on this season. There's a very good chance that Cavani will leave Manchester United next year. It said not so long ago that Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid wanted Cavani in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. Real Madrid will wait until next summer for their main attacking targets Mbappe and Erling Haaland. Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window, but Fabrizio Romano poured cold water on the speculation. Barcelona, I think, will reignite their interest in January. Cavani has got under a year left on his contract at Man United. Back in May, he signed the one-year contract extension and he receives over £200,000 a week. But Cavani has lost his place in the team because obviously we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Cavani has got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at PSG. And he was a long-serving player at PSG. Now I just want to give you some news on Paul Pogba. Manchester United losing time to convince Paul Pogba to stay. Now recently Man United set Paul Pogba deadline. Man United want Paul Pogba's future to be sorted by Christmas, as the Red Devils hope he will sign a new contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba receives $290,000 a week at the moment on his current contract. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract, but it said that Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Well, earlier on this season, he said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him. He said PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. PSG couldn't get him in this year's summer transfer window because they got Lionel Messi. Barcelona, I heard, want him on a free next summer. Inter Milan have been in for him before, and his former club Juventus have been in for him. Now, a few weeks ago, like I updated you, Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Mino Raiola did say that cheering is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. But he said the other week that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out and said that Paul Pogba is yet to decide on his future and his contract situation is up in the air. He said Man United must sell Pogba in January to buy players. Pogba's enjoyed a very good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists. We've played Pogba on that left-hand side quite a lot of times now. I think he's better in more of an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. Last season, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and we paid 89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Now, the Glazers are selling 8% of Manchester United. There's €186 million of shares. Now, like I've said to you, the Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The main reason is because they have put Manchester United in so much debt. And towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And reflecting on that, United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground. Then they protested against the Glazers outside Old Trafford, but Solskjaer revealed that the Glazers apologised. Well, towards the end of last season, it said the Glazers could have been forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. The Glazers did back Solskjaer though in the summer transfer window. The Glazers bought Manchester United for 500 million back in 2005. So they've been at the club for 16 years. Now, as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is under pressure because we've only won 2 of our last 6 games in all competitions. Man United are still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace the club legend as manager despite a poor run of results. The vast majority of Manchester United fans are demanding Ole out. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in. But results definitely have to improve after this international break. Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. And a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Well, Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. I'm very sceptical that we're going to win the Premier League under Ole. But we should be winning the Premier League because we've got a title winning squad. And even Solskjaer said earlier on this season that he told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. And I said at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. You know, this season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. We made a mistake giving him that new contract because I can assure he won't see it out, and a lot of Manchester United fans will agree with me on that aspect. In December, Solskjaer would have been in charge of Manchester United for 3 years. You know, we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason Solskjaer got the job permanently is because he did really well as the interim manager. And a lot of United fans thought we made a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether to give him the job. Solskjaer has gained some managerial experience, you know, reflecting now on he's been Man United manager and he's learnt a few different things on the job, but there's still plenty of things he's got to learn because he's still a young coach. Solskjaer doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager, but he has got a proven pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies as a Man United player. And as a player, Solskjaer made 366 appearances for Man United and scored 126 goals. But I revert back to what I've said so many times before. With Solskjaer being a legend of the club, that's what saved his job. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. A lot of United fans have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. You know, I've got strong reservations about it because analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed is being tactically naive. You know, if Solskjaer does get sacked, you know, who's going to replace him? Obviously, you've got some Man United fans that are demanding Antonio Conte in. Obviously, there's some Man United fans that want Zidane in. At one point, we tried to get Mauricio Pochettino, you know, when Pochettino was managerless. Pochettino was once in talks with the club. But unfortunately, we didn't get Pochettino because he went to PSG. You know, if we do sack Solskjaer, he'll be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson because we've already sacked 3 managers. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. David Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season, plus he got us a second place finish. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and in general the board just weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. But like I've said to you before, when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, you can't just put all the blame on Solskjaer. Yeah, he's accountable for certain things, but there's still some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and they obviously have to take some responsibility. Ollie knew when he'd taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job, managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. Now, Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager so far. And we've spent like 441 million under him. Solskjaer's enjoyed, 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He's got rid of players permanently. He's also loaned quite a few players out. In Solskjaer's first full season, he got us to 3 semi-finals and he got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, which was last season, he got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final and the FA Cup quarter-final, and he got us a 2nd place finish last season. So, yeah, some progress has been made under Ollie, but like I've said before, what Ollie produced in his first full season and his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has got a lot of trustworthy in his young players, and Ole has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he surely would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ole. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Shaw and Harry Maguire. Now, I'm expecting Manchester United to sell players next year. Like I said, Cavani, he'll go. I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave. Juan Mata's contract expires next summer, because earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why we give Juan Mata that 1-year contract extension. Martial, there's a good chance he'll leave in January. Martial isn't good enough to represent the club. Martial played against Everton, surprisingly, and he scored, and that was his first goal for Man United since February. Martial also played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, but he struggled to make an impact in that game. But definitely, Martial's finished at Man United. He said the other week that Man United are ready to sell him in January, and we value Martial at 40 million. Barcelona are considering making a move for him next year. Martial's been a long-term target for Tottenham. Atletico Madrid were linked with him last summer. And don't forget, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day. Before the start of the season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Anthony Martial as he remains part of his plans. Well, before the start of the season, Inter Milan wanted him to replace Lukaku. Solskjaer seems to have a lot of trust in Martial. Don't forget, Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Martial's got 3 years left on his contract. And Martial's been at Manchester United for 6 years. He scored 79 goals in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. The best season Martial had was in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Donny van der Beek, there's a good chance he's going to leave next year because Donny van der Beek doesn't get enough game time at Man United. Solskjaer is ready to let van der Beek go. Many clubs have been in for him, including Everton. Sky Sports said that Everton remain interested in Van der Beek. Everton were close to signing Donny van der Beek on loan in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit. Now, Donny van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Not so long ago, Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal, and Donny van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Van der Beek played no part against Everton last weekend. He played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Cup, put a very good performance out, and he started against Young Boys in the Champions League a few weeks ago, but Solskjaer taken Van der Beek off at half-time in that game, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included, and you'd have thought he'd have had a lot more game time than he has done with us getting him for £40 million. Van der Beek's under contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Van der Beek's already told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. Lingard, I'm expecting us to offload him next year as well. I want us to offload Fred next year, reverted back to what I said earlier. Diego Dalot, there's a good chance he'll leave next year. Diego Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot played against Villarreal only because Wan-Bissaka was suspended and he was poor against Villarreal. Dalot. He played against West Ham in the Cup the other week, and to his credit he put a good performance out against West Ham. Last season, Dalot was out on loan with AC Milan, reflecting on that he gained some experience, and we got Dalot 3 years ago from Porto. We paid 19 million for him. Dalot's got a contract with Man United until 2023. Phil Jones, good chance we'll offload him as well next year. Jones has always been inconsistent, doesn't get in the team. And Jones was out with an knee injury for a while, but now obviously he's back. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. This season is Jones' 11th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. But when the summer transfer window was open, it said Jones is set to stay at Man United this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. And Eric Bailly, he could be leaving next year. Don't want him to though, because Bailly's a very good centre half. Bailly obviously played against West Ham in the Cup, and that was his first start this season. But what a performance Bailly put out against West Ham in the Cup. My only element of concern about Bailly is injury prone. So in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. And there's a good chance that we'll offload Tellez next year as well. Tellez was injured earlier on in the season. Tellez played against Villarreal, scored a very good volley. And he played against West Ham in the Cup. And what a performance he put out against West Ham in the Cup. Apart from him being the culprit for West Ham's goal, because Ryan Fredericks nutmegged him far too easily. So there you go. But like I've said to you already, there's quite a lot of players I'd say that don't get in our team. Obviously, Dean Henderson doesn't get in goal now because De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. You know, Tellez doesn't really get in the team. Tellez only played recently because Luke Shaw wasn't available. Luke Shaw's just come back from minor injury and illness. You know, you've got Bayern Lindelof. That don't get in the team a lot now because Varane and Harry Maguire are our first choice centre-halves. Lindelof will get his chances now because Harry Maguire is out for a few weeks. That's a big blow to Man United. Dalot doesn't really get in the team. He only plays when Wan-Bissaka can't play, mainly. You know, Donny van de Beek doesn't really get a lot of game time. You know, Juan Mata, he doesn't get in R11. And, you know, Martial, he doesn't play a lot either. And neither does Jesse Lingard. And like I said earlier, Edison Cavani has lost his place in the team. I've been talking with you a lot about Cristiano Ronaldo recently, haven't I? You know, Gary Neville come out and said that, you know, Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton last weekend. You know, Ronaldo stormed off down the tunnel. You know, he was frustrated. You know, Solskjaer did get criticised for not starting Ronaldo against Everton, and Solskjaer came out and said he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. Ronaldo did come on as a substitute in the game. Oh, Ronaldo's done really, really well since he's re-signed. He's already scored 5 goals. Ronaldo scored the winning goal against Villarreal in the 95th minute of stoppage time. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have won that game, but Ronaldo can't keep saving Solskjaer at Man United like I've already gone through with you. You can't just rely on one player to get you success. Obviously, Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United and then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. And prior to the Villa game the other week, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. You know, Ronaldo is 36 at the moment. Ronaldo is under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives 480 grand a week. He wears the number 7 shirt and we got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.